Please stand. Hear ye, hear ye. The Honorable Federal Court of Illinois is now in session. Judge LaCroix now presiding.
You may be seated. Clerk, will you please read the case?
The people of the United States versus Eugenia Debs.
Defendant, will you please rise while the charges are being read?
Violating the Sherman Antitrust Act by forming a conspiracy, delaying and interfering with the United States mail, violation of the United States court order issued by the Circuit Court of Chicago.
And how do you plead?
Not guilty of all accounts, Your Honor.
All right, clerk, at this point, will you please select the jury?
Yes, Judge. When I call your name, please go to the jury box. Melissa Guardado. Justin Montenegro. Josh Mora. Katie LaFrance. Bea Benedicto. Amber Masone. Dia Jonai. Cassie George. Sean Porter. Selena Galvez. Christian Garcia. Kaylin Porter.
Okay, cut right there. All right, jurors, at this point, counsel's going to ask you a few questions. So just relax and answer truthfully and honestly to the questions they ask you, okay? Your first questions?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Juror number 1. Will you judge this case fairly to both the prosecution and defense?
Yes, I am.
Cut. We're not doing.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Juror number 1. Do you know anything about this case having to do with the media?
I've heard very little about this case.
So, are you familiar with Mr. George Coleman and Ms. Eugenia Debs?
I've heard a little bit about him, but not too much.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Juror number 1. Have you ever been in a union?
No.
Have you ever participated in a strike?
No.
Juror number 2. What do you do for a living?
Well, I'm a worker. I farm.
Do you work in Pullman's community?
No, I do not.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning. Do you know Mr. Pullman, Juror 2?
I've heard very much about him, but no, I do not know him as a person.
Have you ever been in the military?
No, I have not.
Thank you.
Juror number 4. Have you heard of Pullman?
Yes, I have.
What do you think of him?
I think that he is a...
Juror number 4. Have you heard of Pullman?
Yes, I have.
What do you think of him?
I think that he is a good businessman.
Do you live in this community?
No, I do not.
Okay, thank you.
Juror number 4, have you ever participated in a strike?
No, I have not.
Are you part of a union?
No, I am not.
Thank you.
Juror number 4. Do you know what happened through the media, what they've been saying about this case?
No, I have not.
Do you know Mr. Pullman or Ms. Eugenia Debs?
Not closely.
How about if we move to juror 5? Let's do that. Why don't you keep going? Juror number 5.
Juror number 5. Okay. Juror number 5. Have you in any way been affected by this case?
No, I have not.
Juror number 5. Have you ever been in the military?
No, I have not.
Have you ever participated in a union?
No, I have not.
Thank you.
Juror number 6. Have you been following the media about this case?
Yes, I have.
Have you heard of Pullman?
Yes.
How about Eugenia Debs?
Yes, I've heard of them.
Have you participated in any strikes?
No, I have not.
Okay, thank you.
Juror number 7, do you know Mr. George Coleman?
Yes.
Do you know him closely?
Yes.
We would like to dismiss you.
We'll wait till the end. Okay, we'll keep moving then. You can go to juror 7.
Juror number 7. Have you ever participated in a strike?
Not yet.
Have you ever been a part of a union?
No.
Thank you.
Juror number 8, have you ever been in a union?
No.
Do you know anything about the case?
No.
Thank you.
Juror number 8. What do you do for a living
I'm a salesperson.
in Pullman's community?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Juror number 9, do you know what this case is about?
No.
Have you ever been in the military?
Um,
Have you ever participated in a strike?
yes.
Thank you.
Juror number 9, do you have any thoughts on Mr. Pullman?
No.
Any thoughts from Ms. Eugenia Debs?
No, I don't know them.
Thank you.
Juror number 10, have you ever participated in a union?
No.
That's all.
Juror number 10. Have you worked for Pullman?
No, I have not.
How about the forces?
No, my husband does.
Oh, okay. Has he participated in any strikes lately?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Juror number 11, have you ever been in the union?
No.
How about the military?
No.
Do you know what this case is about?
No, I don't.
Juror number 11, were you ever an employee for Mr. Pullman?
No.
Were you ever a striker for Ms. Eugenia Debs?
No.
Juror number 12, have you ever participated in a strike?
No.
Do you know Mr. Pullman?
Not closely.
That's all.
Juror number 12. Do you have any thoughts about Mr. Pullman?
No.
Do you live in his community?
No.
Are you married?
Yes.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a seamstress.
Thank you.
All right, cut there.
We have no questions for the, we are fine with the jury.
Okay, you're fine? How about you guys?
We would like to dismiss juror number 7.
Okay, juror number 7, you're free to go.
Thank you.
And let's call one more juror.
Isaac Torres, can you please go to the jury box?
Okay, prosecution, you have any questions?
We have no questions for the juror.
Okay, and defense?
We have no questions.
Okay, that's fine. And would you please swear in the jury?
Please stand and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that you will truly try the issue now been given to you, that you will speak nothing to anyone of the business or matters you have set at hand, but among yourselves, nor will you allow anyone to speak to you about the same, but in court? When you are agreed upon any verdict, you will deliver it up in court. Do you swear?
I do.
Please be seated.
All right, so let's start with the opening statements, prosecution.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Will be willing just to give their money away to ungrateful workers who demand a raise. Sir, they say it's unfair, but how about Pullman? A business is indeed a business, and there is no place for a business for being soft and sensitive. 2. The strikers, led by Debs, delayed the U.S. mail. Now, Your Honor, you must know that in this case, let alone any case at all, that this is illegal, a crime, not good. And 3, Eugenia Debs, along with the Railway Workers Union, broke the federal court injunction when it ordered them to stop the strike. But did they stop? I think not. Instead, they were yelling and jeering at the troops and throwing rocks at them. I would also like to support my statements by telling you Eugenia Debs is indeed a socialist, or in her case, a person who has the aim to socialize and combine all industry and overthrow the government. Now, sure, it will help everyone become equal and live their happy lives, but what if everyone in the world was happy and equal? What if everyone was the same? No competition. That's what I say on my behalf. Competition in business is crucial and very important. So, how could you seriously think being a socialist in this case is helpful to the community and everyone in it? Why must we all point fingers at Mr. Pullman? Is it really his fault for the start of this incident? We think not. You may say, oh, Pullman was being selfish. He should have given the strikers more money. They have a living, you know. Well, he has a living too. And if he really is being selfish, who's the one asking for more money? Also, who is the one that founded the company? Pullman, not the strikers, let alone Debs or Miss Let Me Lead This Chicago Area to an equal and better place. Debs, The strikers have been wasting their breath, striking and throwing their rocks at the government officials. This makes me want to ask all the strikers, what if you were Pullman and your own company was in jeopardy because of a serious depression? Would it let your company die, make people happy, and for a little bit, and then in the near future let themselves be unemployed? Or would you do what you have to do for yourself, the company, and the employees, just to increase yourself and themselves to a better future? So, as to wrap up this statement, I would like to say this. It's either you do what you do to keep your community moving along, or do anything and watch your company fall. Thank you.
Okay, defense, your opening statement.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, today we will prove this woman, Eugenia Victoria Debs, innocent. She has been charged with violating the Sherman Antitrust Act, stopping the U.S. mail, and ignoring a court injunction. We believe she has violated none of these charges. All of Mr. Pullman's workers are forced to live in the Pullman town. When Mr. George Pullman decided to lower his workers' wages, but not the prices in his stores, Eugenia decided to start a labor union. His workers could not support their families anymore because all of their groceries and all their food had to be bought inside the Pullman city. This is the reason the workers started a peaceful strike. This strike was and remained peaceful until July 7, 1894. On this day, the federal government fired shots toward the strikers. This ended in the death of Terrence McGee, one of his own workers. As for violating the Sherman Antitrust Act, we believe she did not do anything wrong. The act was meant to target business monopolies and cartels, and never to labor unions. And if you remember, I said Eugenia started a labor union for all the railroad workers called the ARU.
Cut.
So this proved Eugenia was wrongly accused of violating the Sherman Antitrust Act. The rule of the strike was to not move any trains that had Pullman cars attached to them. The U.S. mail cars were deliberately put on the trains which the Pullman cars were on by the strikebreakers. If the strikebreakers had left the U.S. mail cars on their usual trains, or if the people would have taken off the Pullman cars, the U.S. mail would have gladly have been moved by the Pullman workers. The fact that strikebreakers would change the cars to target Eugenia and her strikers goes to show you how untruthful the breakers were. They are the ones who should be tried for stopping the U.S. mail, not Eugenia. We intend to show you that Eugenia Debs is innocent. Thank you.
Okay, at this point, we're going to take a short recess. Actually, we're going to recess for the rest of the day, and we'll start again tomorrow at 9 a.m., okay? Court is adjourned.